Hi everyone, it's Den here. Welcome to the School of Light and an episode of Smith tries stuff, shares stuff, does stuff. This is going to be really special actually, but I don't know what to call it, so let's just get into it. This is the very first camera I ever purchased, and what has prompted me to have this on the desk today is this. So this arrived today, and it's a magazine called Digital Foto magazine out of Denmark. Inside this magazine, we're going to take a look at it, but on the cover is an image called Distantly Related. It's one of the first orbs that I ever made, and probably the most important for a whole lot of reasons. But I made it on this camera. Now, if you don't know what this is a Canon 450D. In America, they called them Rebels. This is, by any metric, a very, very, very basic digital camera. I've always kept it. I just got it going. Believe it or not, the thing actually turns on. You can see there. And just to prove it, I'm going to take a photo of the screen, and I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to blow it up, and there it is. How wild is that? I have not turned this camera on forever. So I've got some batteries on charge, and we're going to make some images with it. But let's have a quick look at the magazine, just for the context. So on the cover is the ball of light. Now, this was just published. It's just arrived in the post. Now, they don't publish it in English. So in the magazine, they open with an image made on my Leica, my favorite ball of light image of all time that I've talked about in a whole nother video. And so it's quite cool that on the cover is probably the most important ball of light image I ever made. And the first image they open with is an image I made on a Leica, on a Q3. So there's kind of this kind of cool thing there where the hero image is made on a camera that you can probably buy for nothing now, and the opening one is on the Q3. And it's a really, really amazing article. They've picked a very, very, very beautiful image I made with a reflection in it. Obviously the distantly related image. Then we've got a liquid light image. And there's an article on the side here. We talked quite a bit about what to include, and it's got how to make an orb, which is pretty neat, I thought. But it's a long article. It's got one of my duality images in there. Just checking you can see that there. It's got one of my duality images in there. It's got one of the amazing images that I made with the movement. Obviously Angkor Wat, which is, I'm so pleased that made it into the magazine. And it just goes on and on. Then there's the lanterns image from Formula One, which is amazing because, you know, I talk about how that's the hardest image I've ever made. And then something that I found quite touching, of course, is that in here is my line portrait, which is super special to me. But what we did over here on the side is, and I'll zoom in on that, over here on the side, I did this thing where I gave these instructions on how to make ultra cheap light painting tools. I literally duct taped a torch to a drink bottle, and I wrapped some Christmas lights around a stick, and I went and made some images with it. Let's just cut to the chase. How wild is it that image is on the cover? Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about this image. So this image was made at about 4 a.m. I was on my way home after a pretty epic night of light painting, and I was completely wrecked. And I stopped down at my local jetty. Now this is, I want to say 2008. And I was down the beach and I was completely wrecked. Made this image, and it was the first image I ever made that really meant anything. It's the first image that really grabbed any attention. But I remember on Flickr, you know, we were all just so unbelievably pushing orbs and spinning orbs. And so I remember being sort of quite stoked that this was something that was going to be really amazing to add to the pool of Flickr. So there we go. What is the point I am trying to make? Yes, having amazing cameras is amazing, but I'll tell you something. I have an event this weekend where I'm presenting to a big group about Sony ZV vlogging cameras. And this thing here, right, this is a tiny little, oh, you better sit there. This is a tiny little, it's called a ZV-1, and this thing is wild. I made some images on it. Some light painting images on it, and I've shot some video and stuff getting ready for this event. But you can make amazing light painting images on these cameras. Absolutely. And I love to make that point and to push it and to stress it, because yes, obviously having a really nice, easy to use, high resolution, amazing, expensive camera is nice, but it's not essential to making images. And this photograph on the front of this magazine absolutely is evidence of that. I didn't choose what went on the cover. I just gave them a folder full of images and a whole lot of words, and they picked the image. Why did they pick it? Well, I can almost guarantee you, the people that do these layouts, right, it's challenging for them to pick an image, but it obviously resonated with someone, and that is so unbelievably special to me. So what it's prompted me to do is this. That's the Smith Shares stuff. Let's do an episode of Smith Tries stuff. And because this thing turned back on, I'm going to go make some light painting with it. But what I'm going to do, let me just go grab something. This here is this one here is an Olympus EM10. This was the very first Olympus that I ever had. Everyone knows that I'm a massive advocate for Olympus cameras, and I think they are a perfect example of what you can do with something tiny. I mean, look at the size of this thing compared to the Canon 450D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soon get this thing going, get this one going, and I'm going to get the 450D going, and we're going to take them out and we're going to make some images. Yeah, don't ever let the camera you have be the reason not to try and make good images. You can make amazing images with a camera that I'll tell you what I am going to do on the screen now. I will have gone and found what you can buy a Canon 450D for, if you can even get them, but I bet they're cheap. And yeah, how nice to see light painting and these older images in this magazine. And Rasmus, who is the gentleman that I dealt with, was just so nice. We had a very long interview. And also, I posted a photo of this online, and someone sent me the English translation, actually. I'll just remember that so I can go and have a look. Thank you, Rasmus. Thank you, Digital Photo Magazine. How nice to see my stuff in print. What a joy. And Canon 450D. Let's go make some bloody light painting with this thing, hey? And a 51.8. Amazing it still works. It's amazing it even turns on, this thing. I'm so pleased. There we go. Have fun. Magazines, print, Canon 450D. Peace. I'll see you soon.